Lincoln penny has been a staple of our economy since it was rolled out back in 1909.
But as all those electronic payments pick up, not to mention the cost of printing a penny now costs nearly triple what it's actually worth, the U.S. Mint has made the move to discontinue the penny. So photojournalist Scott Hobson's been speaking with an expert on coins and their connection to our history.
Pennies have been minted by the United States government since the first year of minting, 1793. About the time we became a country, we were beginning to transition to a more industrial society that made things. That means you needed to have money to transact your purchases and sales and wages. Pennies were, for many decades in this country, the backbone of the economy. Low enough denomination that you could afford to pay a man for a day's work or a few hours' work. At the beginning of the 19th century, a loaf of bread was a penny. Pennies remained large, about the size of a $50. In 1856, the mint decided to try a smaller penny that was the same diameter as today's modern penny. It had a flying eagle on it, and they made them for 3 years. And then in 1859, they adopted the famous Indian head penny, which was in fact Lady Liberty wearing a war bonnet. As the centennial of the birth of Abraham Lincoln approached by 1907, 1908, there was a lot of debate in this country how he should be honored. George Washington had famously said no kings because that was the first step towards having kings. Theodore Roosevelt thought that he should be on the penny because it was the most popular coin. They wanted to get as many images of him out to the public as possible. The public was enthralled by him. So the no kings rule was quickly forgotten. It had all the iconic American mottos on it. In God we trust. Of course, the date, the mint mark. On the back were 2 stalks of wheat that represented the bounty of America. In 1959, on the 100th and 50th anniversary of Abraham Lincoln, it was decided to switch the back to the Lincoln Memorial to honor his legacy. The Lincoln Bicentennial in 2009. That year they did 4 different images of Lincoln in his life, and then after that it was replaced by the Federal Shield. There are probably 240 billion pennies still in circulation. One of the reasons they want to discontinue is because it cost 2.6 cents to make each penny. I think what's forgotten in this debate is the fact that pennies circulate for 30 or 40 years. And it seems like that's a pretty good investment for a tool that's going to be along for most of your lifetime. I think a lot of people look at the Lincoln penny, particularly the older ones, as iconic for one of the greater events in American society, where we made a quantum leap to be a better people. And he pretty much is the face of that leap.